The 54th Regiment was allowed because of the Emancipation Proclamation written by Abraham Lincoln that stated, "Let him get an eagle on his button and a musket on his shoulder and bullets in his pocket." This allowed free blacks and slaves to fight in the Civil War. 54th Regiment from Massachusetts was the first black regiment issued in the Civil War. A quarter of the volunteers came from slave states or the Caribbean to add up to the roughly 1,000 men. The leader of this regiment was Robert Gould Shaw, a white officer. He gained trust throughout the black regiment when he believed in his troop. The 54th Regiment caused great awareness, uproaring and demanding that they should get paid the same amount as the white men at $13 an hour instead of $10. A great reason that Robert Gould Shaw gained respect upon these African American soldiers is because of his denial to accept a paycheck getting paid more for the same work. Robert Gould Shaw lost his life on the battlefield while battling with his regiment. Battle of Fort Wagner. The 54th Regiment first saw the battlefield against the South on July 18, 1863 at Fort Wagner. White soldiers gave praise and much respect towards the 54th Regiment as they were the leading troop into the fort. Almost all of these men fell short to the South but gained respect and honor from other white soldiers, unifying the North.
Abraham Lincoln stated the Emancipation Proclamation on January 1, 1863, which is when African Americans were first allowed to serve. Over 179,000 African Americans served in over 160 units, as well as more serving in the Navy and in support positions. At the Battle of Fort Pillow in Tennessee on April 12, 1864, almost 600 men in the Union, half black, suffered 575 casualties when they were attacked by Confederates. When the war ended, 179,000 black men had served in the Union Army, representing 10% of its total. Nearly 40,000 died, 3/4 due to disease or infection. Governor John A. Andrew of Massachusetts issued the Civil War's first official call for black soldiers. More than 1,000 men responded. About 90,000 were former or contraband slaves from the Confederate States. About half of them were from the Laurel States, and the rest were free blacks from the North. 16 black soldiers won the Congressional Medal of Honor for their brave service in the Civil War. Major Martin R. Delaney, an African-American recruiter and first black state officer in the U.S. military in 1863, said, "Do you know that if it was not for the black men, this war never would have been brought to a close with success to the Union and the liberty of your race if it had not been for the Negro."
President Abe Lincoln decided that black enlistees were to be used as laborers and not to be trained as a combat soldier because Congress left it up to the president to decide the duties of African American soldiers. Since most white Americans were stereotypical, they thought of black adults being more like children, believing they had lacked in mental ability and discipline because slavery had stripped them of their manhood. For this, the whites thought the black were dependent and irresponsible to never be trained as soldiers. White officers with black soldiers knew they were all at a high risk, since upon capture, the African American soldiers would be killed by being hanged or put back into slavery, and the officers would be killed upon being captured since they were in charge of African American soldiers. African American soldiers were digging trenches and other dirty jobs and were given inferior equipment and horrible medical treatment in segregated hospitals. African American soldiers had also been given less pay than white soldiers by $3, making them earn 10 and not 13.
Nice, very nice. Excellent job.